Humboldt County, and we welcome you to the weekly Your Care, Our Mission radio show presented by the Humboldt County Memorial Hospital and 97.7 The Volt. This morning I have with me Larry Hall. He is a pharmacist at the Humboldt County Memorial Hospital. Larry, how you doing?
Doing great, Nathan. Glad to be here.
Awesome. How long have you been working at the hospital, and what is your role within the pharmacy department?
Well, I've been at the hospital since, 2002, so I think that makes 14 years, something like that. I am the director of pharmacy, but it's a small facility, so pretty much that means I am the pharmacist. But that's an okay thing. Primarily what we work with is, obviously inpatients, surgical patients, patients in the emergency department. We also fill prescriptions for the long-term care that's attached to the hospital. I always like to say, a lot of people say, oh, there's a pharmacy in the hospital, and of course all hospitals have pharmacies. We are not open to the public. You can't just come in and have me fill a prescription from off the street, but we deal with the patients who are in the hospital. We work with the patients, we work with the doctors and the other providers, the nurses, just to make sure that everybody's drug therapy is what it should be, and filling prescriptions, counseling, working with physicians, just the whole gamut. Most of what we do is kind of more behind the scenes, as evidenced by the fact that a lot of people say, Humboldt Hospital has a pharmacy? And it's just like, yeah, most hospitals have pharmacies. Pretty much all of them do, because we have drugs, and you have to deal with that. So, yeah, 14 years. It's been a pretty good run. We've been very happy there. Great things happening at the hospital these days.
Awesome, and you're going to detail some of those awesome things happening. He's got 4 events that he wants to detail. We're going to get to 2 now, and then 2 after the break. I know he's very excited to talk about this Diabetes Awareness Month Lunch and Learn. What's going on with that?
Well, yeah, it's interesting. I was all prepared to talk about a completely different topic, and then Marty, who is the one who manages these things, came down and said, could you mention these 4 things? And I'm going like, wow, there's a lot of stuff to talk about here. How about I talk about those 4 things? This first one in particular really dovetails well into pharmacy. It really involves that. Just to make me look smart, I looked on Google this morning and I said, well, okay, the population of Humboldt County is about 4,635 people. And nationally, about 9.3% of the U.S. population is diabetic. Well, you do the math, that means there are about 431 diabetics in Humboldt County. And that's probably true. And so almost 10% of the population is diabetic. And so this first thing I'm talking about, which is coming up this Thursday, who should be there? Well, I really expect 431 people to be there, because this is going to benefit them. A little background, what it is it's Diabetes Awareness Month. This Thursday, November 17th, from 11:45 to 1 p.m. is a lunch and learn. And, diabetes, if you have diabetes or you know somebody who has diabetes, you probably know diabetes is a disease that is out to maim you, to disable you, and to kill you. And that sounds really harsh, but if you don't watch your diabetes, if you don't do something about it, it will do those things. You will not live as long. You will end up crippled. You will end up having to do dialysis, all kinds of nasty things that you really don't want to have to deal with. And so if you are diabetic, or if you know somebody who's diabetic, you really and truly need to come to this. It's free. How many things in life are free? And you get a meal. How many things are free and you get a meal? And this lunch and learn is about diabetes. And who's going to be talking to you? Well, 3 people are going to be talking to you. Okay, there's some method to my madness. The first 2 people are actual employees of the hospital. Amanda Thule, who is our dietitian, and Jennifer D. Winter, who is our diabetic educator. Amanda Thule is a dietitian. Obviously diabetes has to do, with what we eat. We can make a big difference. Our diet. You need to have somebody who you can talk to who understands the interaction of proteins and carbohydrates and calories and fats and all of these things. And that's where a dietitian comes into. A dietitian can really help a person who's diabetic to really control side effect symptoms, the amount of medication they need, by having a better understanding of the disease process and the foods that are involved in that. And so Amanda will be talking at the Lunch and Learn. Next is a new person to the hospital, relatively new, Jennifer De Winter. I know a lot of people know Jennifer. She is a Humboldt resident, and we are really blessed. I haven't had a lot of time to work with her, but the little time that I have had, super impressed. We're super fortunate. A diabetic educator is just exactly that. Somebody who can inform and educate and counsel people on their diabetes. And if you have an educator who's working with you, then it can make a huge difference. They can understand that the role that the medications play in conjunction with the foods, in conjunction with lifestyle, and just these two people are a dietitian and a diabetic educator, people who take advantage of those services that are available to the residents of Humboldt County and follow the things that they tell you to do. You're going to live longer. You're going to live healthier. You're going to feel better. Who doesn't want all of those things? Pretty much everybody. But then when you get to so that's the ice cream sundae. What's the cherry on top? And this is probably not even a good, because it's not just a cherry on top. One of the things that we have, she's new. She hasn't been here too long, just since August, but a lot of people I'm sure in Humboldt County know that we have two new doctors. We have Dr. Megan Wood and we have Dr. Ryan Wood. And Dr. Megan Wood is a thing called an endocrinologist. A lot of people say, that's a nice $2 word or something like that. What is an endocrinologist? Well, we have all kinds of hormones in our body, and we have all kinds of glandular systems in our body. Science has discovered that we have a total of about 30 different hormones. What's a hormone? Well, I'll give you some ones that people might know about. There's insulin is a hormone. Diabetes, exactly what we were talking about. Thyroid is a hormone. You know, that regulates growth and well-being. Testosterone, estrogen, there's pituitary hormone, there's growth hormone. Those are just a few, probably the big ones. And an endocrinologist is somebody who works with the glandular systems and hormone imbalances in the body. And that sounds really big, but it's really critically important. And more than that, it's just almost a gift that we have somebody like that here in Humboldt County, because of the things that they can do for, particularly in the case of this Lunch and Learn this Thursday, the information they can provide you, the resource that they can be in helping to control and treat people with diabetes. So at any rate, we got these three people. It's fantastic. We got a dietitian. She's wonderful. We've got a diabetic educator. She's fantastic. And then we are blessed to have Dr. Megan Wood, an endocrinologist. He's our keynote speaker at this Lunch and Learn. You know, you should have to pay money for something like this. I'm serious. You're going to get a lot of really good information here that's going to make a person who's diabetic or knows somebody who's diabetic better. And they're going to be talking about the basics of diabetes, monitoring blood sugars, how to reduce risk, medication information on the meds that you'll be taking, basic problem-solving skills, which is like really key to know, what do I do when this thing is happening to me? Activity and exercise, medical nutrition therapy, stress and coping techniques. They also provide education on the devices and technologies, things like insulin pumps, continuous glucose monitoring therapies, pre-diabetes, which is like, okay, the doctor says you're pre-diabetic. What does that mean? Well, it means you're on the edge, but what do you do about that? Gestational diabetes during pregnancy is fairly common. This is a big deal. If you have questions, and by the way, folks, if you're out there, you should really have a pencil and a paper, because I got a lot of stuff to talk about today.
He does.
But at any rate, if you got questions about this Lunch and Learn, call Jennifer DeWinter at 515-332-4200 and ask for Jennifer. But at any rate, to reiterate, that's Thursday, November 17th. That's this Thursday, coming right up. It's from 11:45 to 1 p.m. Lunch is going to be served. Dr. Megan Wood will be speaking at noon. If you're diabetic or know somebody who's diabetic, you should be at this meeting. Your outcomes will be better just by attending. I'm super excited that we're doing programs like this, and that we have somebody as knowledgeable as Dr. Megan Wood speaking to us.
Sure.
So at any rate, I'm going to go a little fast because I know we're taking a lot of time.
Hey, no worries.
Friday, December 2nd. This is a big deal too. This is something. You might save a life by doing this. I give blood when I can. It's not always convenient. You got to go down to Fort Dodge to go to the blood center. Gee, wouldn't it be nice if I could give blood here in Humboldt, Iowa? Hey, guess what? You can. Friday, December 2nd, from noon until 4:30 p.m., Humboldt County Memorial Hospital will be hosting LifeServe Blood Center, and you can schedule an appointment at www.lifeservebloodcenter.org. or just contact Marty Ratzgraff at Marty R, that's MARDIR, at HumboldtHospital.org. Or just call the hospital, 332-4200, and say, hey, I know you got a blood drive coming up, I want to give. This is going to be the first of many. We're going to be having these on a regular basis. What a great thing that Humboldt residents can save a life without even having to leave town. How cool is that? It's December 2nd. It's from noon till 4:30. Bring a valid form of ID, such as your donor ID card or driver's license. Give blood without even leaving town, save a life. Awesome.
All right, we got to catch a break. Larry's got more great information coming up. He's excited. We're excited. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning in Humboldt. Stay with us on Everybody's Music Station, 97.7 The Volt.
Diabetes is a complex disease that must be constantly managed. The treatment for type 2 diabetes includes lifestyle changes, along with medications. Lifestyle changes include a healthy diet and physical activity, which is not easy. The treatment plan for each person with type 2 diabetes needs to be individualized to achieve the best outcome. Failure to manage and control type 2 diabetes can lead to numerous diabetes-associated complications, including cardiovascular disease, stroke, kidney failure, blindness, and amputations. At Humboldt County Memorial Hospital, the Diabetes and Nutrition Education Center offer education and support with the goal of self-management and healthy lifestyles for people with diabetes for children and adults. Our diabetes specialists include a registered nurse and registered dietitian. Our compassionate and highly trained staff provides patients and the people who support them with the tools needed to live well with the disease. Let the professional diabetes education team at Humboldt County Memorial Hospital educate and support your efforts to self-manage diabetes. For more information, please call 515-332-7643. Humboldt County Memorial Hospital. Quality care close to home.
Welcome back to the Your Care, Our Mission, Humboldt County Memorial Hospital show. Nathan Bleckel, Larry Hall, pharmacist director at the hospital, and you got a couple more awesome events coming up. We'll get to those right away. Larry, let's first delve into the CPR classes.
Well, yeah, thanks, Nathan. We are having, I think they're trying to have them every month. They're trying to have CPR classes for family and friends. I have to go through CPR because I'm a pharmacist and required to. Pretty much everybody at the hospital has to learn what they call basic life support. But the problem is that people have heart attacks, things happen to people, and there isn't always a health professional around. There isn't always a law enforcement officer around. They also have to do that. There isn't always a fireman around. Frequently they have to have that training. And so how nice would it be to be able to offer CPR classes to family and friends, not healthcare providers? And so we have one. I hesitate to mention it. We got one coming up this Thursday. That one's already full. But it's not too early to start saying, hey, I'd like to take CPR. I'd like to learn how to save a life. When's the next one? Well, it's Thursday, December 15th. It's coming up, it's from 6:30 to 8:30. It's a 2-hour class. Dan Anlicker is a CPR instructor and EMT. Dan's a great guy. You can learn a lot off of Dan. We are blessed to have a resource like that here. He also rides in our ambulance, but he's also a certified CPR instructor, and you can learn how to save a life. I mean, who doesn't want to do that? Take 2 hours out of your time and learn something that can make a huge difference. Again, that's Thursday, December 15th from 6:30 to 8:30. It's at the hospital conference room. Come into the hospital, they'll direct you to the right place. If you want to sign up and come to that, because I do expect it to fill up pretty quickly, sign up today. Call 515-890-2400. Class sizes are limited, but groups are welcome. So, yeah, if a family member, friend, or child in your care had a cardiac or first aid emergency, would you recognize the signs and respond quickly and appropriately? So this is a big deal. 515-890-2400, coming up Thursday, December 15th, 6:30. Sign up and save a life. Who wouldn't want to do that? Okay, so we have talked about 3 things that you can either use to prolong your life or the life of somebody else, or save your life or the life of somebody else. But now we're just going to talk about just kind of a neat thing. And I'm just going to kind of read this. The Hospice Light Up a Life is coming up Monday, November 28th at 7 p.m. at the hospital. We have a Path of Life garden. A lot of people don't know about that. It's kind of a neat thing. And it's essentially something that's dedicated to people who've died in hospice, that's supported by that. But at any rate, at 7 p.m., they'll have an indoor social hour, they'll have entertainment, and reading and memorialize names of loved ones to follow the lighting in the long-term care sunroom. Sunroom's big room, can accommodate a lot of people. This is a neat event for If hospice has touched your life in any way, and I know if you've had a loved one or a friend or anything, hospice touches so many lives in so many ways. A tax-deductible gift will light a bulb on the evergreen tree at the Path of Life garden. Cool, so you can give something that's tax-deductible and light a light bulb. But more than lighting a light bulb, it will help support hospice. The light can be placed in memory of a loved one or in honor of an individual who is of personal significance in the life of the contributor. So you have an opportunity to purchase a light, get it lit for somebody who you love. Checks for a minimum of $10 per name are made payable to, and once again, I hope you guys got your pens and pencils out, Humboldt County Hospice Foundation. That's Box 183, Humboldt, Iowa 50548. Once again, that's Humboldt County Hospice Foundation, Box 183, Humboldt, Iowa. And any of these things that we've talked about, if you're saying, wait, I don't remember about this, what was he talking about? He went really fast. Call the hospital. They'll direct you to somebody who can fill you in on all this information. It's probably
Right.
Marty, but maybe somebody else. Light Up a Life forms are also available at Humboldt County Memorial Hospital. Come on out to the hospital. You know, people think hospitals are scary places. We're not scary at all. Drive right out. You can park up close. You can walk right in. You're going to meet fantastic people right at the front desk who'll direct you to whatever you want to. It's not a scary thing, so come up and see us. But yeah, Humboldt County Memorial Hospital and Humboldt County Public Health both have those. If you would like a form mailed to you, call 515-333, excuse me, I can't even think,
No.
515-332-2492. I'm starting to mess up talking, so I probably better stop there.
All right, well, that's Larry Hall. Plenty of great information today. Like he said, any more questions, you can call the hospital. Otherwise, you can listen in. We have it taped. You can put it on our YouTube page. You can see it on our website or on the YouTube page. Listen back to anything today. Larry, it's been a pleasure. Very good information and very prepared. We appreciate that. Tune in next time, Tuesday, same time, same call letters, 97.7 The Volt. Stay with us. This is Your Care, Our Mission show. Thanks a lot, Larry.
Thank you, Nathan.